Shane, my doctor told me my hip x-rays are bad, like the worst he's ever seen. What if I told you that your body's asymmetries are your secret weapon because the very things you might consider flaws could actually be the key to unlocking your full potential? Today we're diving into why being imperfect might just make you unstoppable. Let's clear something up from the get-go. Perfection is overrated. Asymmetries don't equal guaranteed injuries, and you don't need a perfectly symmetrical body to achieve your full potential. Some of the most legendary athletes have embraced their imperfections and turned them into their greatest strengths. Take Lamar Gant, for example. Lamar is a powerlifting legend who has severe scoliosis of the spine. Despite his spinal curvature, he defied all odds and became one of the greatest powerlifters ever. Lamar was officially the first person in human history to lift more than 5 times his body weight. And get this, he did it at just 5 feet, 2 inches, and 132 pounds. Now think about Usain Bolt. He's the fastest man alive, but he has scoliosis too. Did that stop him? Absolutely not. Instead, he became the world's greatest sprinter. His so-called imperfections didn't hinder his performance, and it doesn't have to limit yours either. Now let's get into the science of asymmetry. The truth is your body is naturally uneven, and that's perfectly normal. Our bones, muscles, and even our organs are not perfectly symmetrical. And guess what? That's okay. For example, the right lung has 3 lobes, while the left lung has only 2 to make room for the heart. This internal asymmetry is mirrored externally as well, such as in the subtle differences between the 2 sides of your face. Lamar Gant's scoliosis gave him a unique biomechanical advantage in powerlifting. His spinal curvature shortened his trunk height relative to his arm span, reducing the distance he needed to lift the bar. While this doesn't diminish his years of hard work and dedication, it does show how some asymmetries are beneficial. Let me share my own journey. I've faced my fair share of challenges, from hip impingement, labral tears, bone cysts, and scoliosis, but these so-called imperfections didn't stop me from becoming a successful athlete and a coach. In fact, they made me more resilient and adaptive. You become stronger physically and mentally when you learn to work with and around your asymmetries and your injuries. This is similar to how controlled exposure to bacteria and viruses can create a more robust immune system over time. The bottom line is, adversity creates the conditions for strength. It might sound hard to believe, but the medical establishment and fitness industries have taught us that the goal is perfect symmetry, and anything short of that is a recipe for disaster. That's what I was told when doctors discovered my abnormal bone shapes back in 2011. The good news is that by working with a coach who truly understands asymmetries, you can overcome your fear of your supposed flaws and become stronger, faster, and more resilient than ever. I talk with 10 to 15 people per week applying to our one-on-one coaching program, and I hear the same story repeatedly. Shane, my doctor told me my hip x-rays are bad, like the worst he's ever seen. Shane, the chiropractor showed me the scans and told me I have subluxations. He said my spine is crooked and needs to be fixed, otherwise it's going to affect my nerves and my organs. He was wearing a white coat. It all seemed so medical. If you've ever been through this, stop, smile, breathe. It's okay. The good news is that science does not support the theory that these mild and moderate asymmetries matter as much as these crooked chiros and money-hungry doctors would have you believe. Not all doctors and practitioners are like this, but unfortunately a few are. The problem is that these few shady characters have a completely backward business model. To them, the entire game is 1, show someone how messed up they are, 2, provide some temporary pain relief, but mostly just keep them scared, confused, and dependent. If that last line hit too close to home, trust me, I've been there. I spent over $26,000 seeing various traditional practitioners who all followed the same 2-step approach. Scare me, promise to fix it for me, and then rinse and repeat. It wasn't until I learned that these abnormalities were really just normal variants that I stopped stressing myself out about every slight so-called imperfection. Yes, I performed rehab exercises to improve my mobility and strength, but I didn't need to obsess over all of the asymmetries that showed up on my x-rays, MRIs, and evaluations. The bottom line is this: science supports this and experience supports this. So relax, smile, and get on with your training and life. When you do this, imagine the freedom of not worrying about being perfect and instead focusing on what you can achieve. Trust me, chasing your goals is much more fun than worrying about your imperfections. Armed with this information, the next time the fear-mongering guy in a white lab coat tells you that you have a 1.2 millimeter leg length discrepancy, which is why you need to buy his custom orthotics and the 12-month spinal correction plan, you can smile politely and slowly back out of the room. I hope this information gives you confidence in knowing that your body, with all its quirks, can still do amazing things. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be determined and persistent. Just like Lamar Gant, who got insanely strong even with severe asymmetries. Just like Usain Bolt, who became the fastest man alive with his leg length discrepancy and scoliosis. And just like myself, when I transformed from broken in my 20s to bulletproof in my 40s. So, what's next? It's time to take the next step towards embracing your asymmetry. Subscribe to this channel for more tips and stories about embracing your unique body. Visit gotrom.com to explore our do-it-yourself programs and check out gotrom.com/VIP to learn how to work one-on-one with a coach who understands your journey. And as always, remember, you're just one step away from building or rebuilding your perfect body.